So over the last weekend, I had a pretty insane video planned for you guys, and unfortunately it did not go as planned. Some stuff changed, and it did involve that whole scam situation with the GPUs. I won't talk about it in this video because there's some sensitive information that I'll have to discuss later, but as of right now, just keep in mind that I am kind of working on that. That being said, because of that, a little bit of an interruption to my regular flow has happened. So instead of just posting garbage, I figured I would bring you guys along and show you what I am doing today. So I know a few subs on my channel are familiar with ErockOnTech. He's a really good YouTube channel. I actually found him during the AMD RAM issues. I found a bunch of videos. I was having issues with my own AMD setup at the time, and he helped me. And since then, we've been like pretty good friends. Let me be completely honest with you. I already started going through this box, and I was like, you know what? I should let the viewers see. Erock did a really good job at packing this stuff up. I already ripped out all the packaging. So if you're seeing this and you're like, who packed that? No, Erock did an awesome job at packing this. But I want to go and talk about the first thing, which is the video card. So this video card is actually sort of also how Erock and I started talking. This is a 3080 from HP, and unfortunately, as you can see, there's some damage there in the corner, and I'll show you a little bit of damage that happened to one of the traces. I'll throw it up on the screen because I've actually already taken this apart, and unfortunately, this card is no longer working. I might send it to Vietnam. My friend Min might send it to Vietnam. I'm not sure, but for now, it's probably gonna go on the wall over there. So let's just put that there for now and go through the rest of the stuff. We got a water block. He did say that noise that's in there, that's a little standoff. I think the standoff is missing, but probably still perfectly good. That alone right there is quite an expensive water block. So up next, we have a NZXT cooler. And there's a few little bent fins and stuff, but overall, if it turns on, then that's gonna be pretty awesome. I have a bunch of 140 fans. So this here is a B450, I believe it is, something like that. And I believe it has a Ryzen 3rd gen CPU or something. He said it in the video, I don't remember if it was 3rd gen or what it was, but that's a whole motherboard right there. So we're gonna test that in a minute too. We got some soft tubing, that is nice. He said that there was a bunch of water cooling hardware in here, which is awesome. He gave me a ton of these NZXT fans, which, believe it or not, they do come in handy sometimes. If I'm doing like a really budget build, I can just throw them in, some 140s and some 120s. Wow, actually he did show me this. He sent me a video, guys. Before I'm going through this, he did send me a video. I didn't completely watch the whole thing, Erock. If you're seeing this, I was kind of like falling asleep. But yeah, this is crazy, bro. This is awesome. Thank you so much. So we got a water block. I think, if I remember, tell me if I'm wrong, I remember you said something about like the lighting was weird or something with it, but we'll figure that out. Some extra tubes. I always love these. That will be super handy in the future. And he said that there was some fittings in here somewhere, which are really important. Yes. If any of you guys understand what this means to me, this whole bag is like worth more than any of these parts here. Some of these fittings are like, they go for like, I don't know, 15, 20 bucks a piece, especially like the right angle ones. Yeah, all that stuff's pretty expensive when you get into water cooling. This is pretty cool. I have a few of these little kits. They're all kind of different. This is a custom hardline kit from Corsair, which I assume will go with this tubing here. So we'll actually, I think I'm gonna use this for a build. We'll do a whole system out of it. That'll be awesome. And lastly, we have some thermal pads, which this is pretty nice. I always end up using thermal pads, especially in those old 30 series where the super thick ones were made of like that mushy thermal crap product. I don't know what it's called, thermal pad. So yeah. So I actually found this little bracket that was in the bag, and I think it belongs to this, but I do need some of the screws that go with this, and I think I might have them. But let's throw this on the bench and see if it posts before we try to attach that. For those who are wondering, this is a B450F, or that's what it says on the board at least. And yeah, we're not going to be screwing this cooler down. This is going to be some raw dog in it, just going in and seeing if it posts. All right, so Erock told me that this thing powers off and on and has issues. It does seem to be going through its lights. Alright, I just reseated the RAM. I'm going to try again and just see what it does. Stay back from it. So you'll notice if you have one of these boards, or any board that has a code reader on it, down here, let me see if I can actually adjust the camera so you can see. That white light usually will bounce around between CPU, VGA, and RAM. And eventually during the training process, when it's training the memory.
So while I was trying to teach you guys cool things, I forgot to put the graphics card in. So yeah, it was never gonna post.
All right, everybody, we're back. So I got so excited that I forgot to put the GPU in. So let me just turn this back on. And yeah, a lot of these Ryzen chips do not have a onboard graphics or VGA output. So let's see if this will actually post this time. He did say there was something wrong with it, but he wasn't completely sure. And it looked like it got all the way through training. There we go, that's a post. Nice. All right, what do we got? Yep, Ryzen 3600. And we have 16 gigs of RAM. Obviously that's one of my test sticks, but we're gonna be putting in some of this cheaper memory here, the SP 16 gigabyte kit. But yeah, that's pretty good. We got it working. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this Aura GC2 case. This is the white case from the brand Gamdias. Actually a pretty nice looking case. I'm gonna see if I have hardware for this. If I don't, I'll end up using like, I don't know, some tower cooler or something. This is pretty expensive, so it will add to the cost, but yeah. Also, I'm gonna be giving, or putting that Ryzen 3600 in, 3060 in right there. Also, we're gonna be using this, there's something wrong with that graphics card. Yeah, this was the R-made MSI graphics card, and for whatever reason, it keeps hanging up. So I don't know, I might have to send this one back into RMA. Oh yeah, well, look at that, damn. Guys, this just came back from MSI. I don't know if you saw it, but it was artifacting right there. So unfortunately, I can't put that in the PC, but we're still gonna build it, and I'll throw some cheaper card in there just for the meantime. But yeah, this is definitely problematic. So I'm gonna have to unfortunately re-RMA this. Damn. Why you do me dirty, MSI? All right, there it is. I literally just pulled it out of my PC and I'm packing it up. It's kind of annoying since I've already sent it one time. Maybe they'll send me a new one. Also, I didn't tell you guys this, but I'm gonna be using this Titan for a little while as my actual card because I sold my 4090. It's been a couple years saying goodbye to my old friend 4090. And I'm gonna be using a 3060 for a while. Someone gave me an offer I just couldn't resist, and I I bought the card 2.5 years ago. It's a launch day card, and they wanted to pay $2,000. What was I gonna say? I'm not even trying to be like a scalper or anything. They offered the money, and they bought it. So I'm gonna be on a Titan, I guess. All right, another white case with glass, cool. That's the Gamdias case that has the 4 fans. We got 4 ARGB. Let's see how easy this comes off. Not easy, so we're gonna have to pull this front off. So we got 4 ARGB fans up front, 1 at the back. This is the power supply I'm gonna use. Also, just wanna let you guys know, just feeling a little bit off myself. My family's sick. It's been one of those weeks. I had a lot planned. It just hasn't gone the direction I want to go. So I apologize if this is kind of like a messier video. You subscribers that are always commenting will probably get that vibe. But yeah, let's so I got this new tester. This is a thermal take tester. So we're gonna see if this M2 Silent Pro works. I feel like this is a nice budget power supply that'll go well with this board that Erock gave me. Thank you again, dude. So awesome that this works, because he was just going to toss it out. Hey, if you want it back, man, just let me know, all right? I'm going to post the video, leave it up for a little while. Gotta wait for that RTX 3060 to come back. But yeah, so this is pretty cool. It doesn't put full load, but it does power on the PSU, which is where I find issues sometimes. So with the click of a button, got the fan spinning, and as you can see, everything looks good. You can actually run through the different types of things like 12 volt, 5 volt, turn it off. Yep, so I'm gonna actually leave this on for a little bit, let it test out, and yeah, let's start breaking down this PC, and we're gonna throw that board in there. So I have all these Cooler Master coolers from a long time ago. People always give them to me, but the thing that sucks is like they almost always have the Intel bracket, and many of these were set up for AM3 and not AM4. Cooler Master changed to a different type later, so I'm going to see if any of these brackets that I have even work with these older Cooler Master coolers.
I don't recommend this, but I actually cut the little nub that's in the middle, blocking this from fitting on the AM4 platform, but it does work. So what do you guys think? Pretty nice looking for a real budget board. The matte black with the RAM I think looks nice. And then yeah, again, I'm always having trouble with standoffs. They forgot to put in the standoffs correctly, and yeah. Also, another thing, I am using a 512 SSD, and it's a 2.5 with a 7200 RPM hard drive. A lot of people frown on it, but sometimes when there's a good deal and you're trying to make a really budget system, the best way to make any money on something you're selling is to just figure out what makes the most sense. And sometimes the NVMEs are cheaper, sometimes the 2.5s are cheaper. They're all kind of similar when you're thinking about like gaming speeds, unless you're going up to the very high tier products. This card was kind of hard to put in. There's a little nub on the back that was tough. Threw in a NZXT white fan that came from one of my customer builds, and yeah.
All right, guys, I didn't put too much effort in the back, but there it is. Pretty basic, nothing too crazy. This is a real budget PC. Front side, this Hall of Fame card is actually my 980 Ti that's not going to actually be staying in the system. It's just to be a placeholder for the 3060 that just died on me. So yeah, let's see if it turns on. It's not too bad looking for a super budget system. I might get some cable extensions when the 3060 comes in to sell it. Also, it might take a minute because it has to retrain memory. There we go. And it should go right into Windows because I preloaded this with Windows. There we go. Oh, look at that panda. So normally I do fancy B-roll and all that kind of jazz, but I don't really have that energy right now at the moment. Just feeling a little bit under the weather, but I think this case looks pretty decent. This is called the, again, Aura. They do that same thing that every cheap case does, where they put the reset button as the RGB button. And unfortunately, this board is at that point where they hadn't started to include the 5 volt, so it has the 12 volt up top there, but no 5 volt. Yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I might be picking up a 50 series card, I'm not entirely sure, or I might be going back to like a 3090 to save some money for future stuff and future projects. Yeah, that's pretty much why I sold the 4090. It's like the 4090 was awesome, but I wasn't getting enough gaming out of it. And yeah, I'm kind of interested. Everyone might hate me for this, but I'm kind of interested if I can find an MSRP 5080 to see how well it does in like video editing. But It has to be MSRP. I don't want to spend any more money than the $1,000 they're asking. Also, again, Erock, you're the man. All this stuff that you gave me, this whole box, I really appreciate you, dude. I have a lot of friends in the industry, but Erock is one of the best. Definitely go check out his channel. He's really intuitive. He does a ton of like deep dives into like motherboards, graphics cards, all sorts of parts. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for the video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.